Welcome, dog lovers and curious minds, to a fascinating journey into canine vision. Ever found yourself wondering if your furry friend really knows you by face? Or is it just the scent of those delicious treats in your pocket? Today we're diving into the intriguing world of how dogs perceive us, their human companions. My own journey started with my Labrador Retriever, Max, who always seemed to know me even after I'd been away for months. This sparked my curiosity about the science behind canine facial recognition. Do they see us as we see them? How do they distinguish a familiar face from a stranger? And how long can they remember a face? These are the questions we'll be exploring, guided by recent research and heartwarming stories of dogs and their humans. So let's unravel the mystery. Can dogs really recognize human faces? We humans are visual creatures, but how does the world look through a dog's eyes? Let's take a moment to imagine. Unlike humans, who rely heavily on color and detail, dogs' vision is more about movement and contrast. They're like champions of peripheral vision and motion detection, always on the lookout for anything interesting on the horizon. But dogs are not just about sniffing things out. They are also visually adept, especially when it comes to familiar faces. Recent research has shown that specific regions in a dog's brain light up when they see human faces. That's right, our furry friends are wired to recognize us, not just by our scent, but by our faces too. And when it comes to recognizing faces, dogs don't just stop at the basics. They go beyond just eyes and nose. Dogs can pick up on subtle aspects like hair color, facial expressions, and even our posture. Ever noticed how your dog seems to know it's you before you've even said hello? That's your dog putting its face processing power to work. But here's where it gets really interesting. Dogs don't just recognize faces, they can distinguish between familiar faces and strangers. Ever seen a dog react to someone it hasn't seen in a long time? It's like they've just found their long-lost best friend. That's because dogs have an uncanny ability to remember familiar faces, even after months or years of separation. So next time you're out walking your dog and they suddenly perk up, look around. They might have just spotted someone familiar, or perhaps they've seen someone who reminds them of a person they've met before. It's their visual world, full of familiar faces and exciting new ones, all seen through a lens that's quite different from ours. Dogs see the world differently. They don't just see us, they recognize us. So the next time you look into your dog's eyes, remember, they're not just looking at you, they're recognizing you, remembering you, and most importantly, they're loving you. Ever wonder how your dog seems to remember people they've only met once? It's no magic trick. Dogs are quite adept at remembering, especially when it comes to the faces of their favorite humans. Our dogs' memory capabilities are impressive. Not only can they remember basic commands and tricks, but they also possess an intriguing ability to recall faces. Much like us, dogs form long-term memories, particularly when it comes to familiar faces. If you've ever been away from your furry friend for a while, you've likely experienced the joyous reunion that ensues upon your return. This isn't mere excitement, it's recognition, it's memory, it's love. But how do dogs manage to remember so accurately? Well, it's a combination of sight and scent. Dogs are capable of combining visual cues with powerful olfactory memories to recognize individuals. It's as if every person they meet has a unique blend of visual and scent-based identity, a personal fingerprint that dogs can remember and identify. And it's not just about the face. Dogs also remember how people make them feel. The warmth of your touch, the tone of your voice, even your unique scent, all contribute to a complete memory package that your dog associates with you. Interestingly, there might be variations in facial recognition abilities among different dog breeds. Some breeds might be naturally better at remembering faces than others, much like how some dogs are more adept at tracking scents or herding animals. This is a fascinating area of ongoing research that promises to reveal even more about our beloved canine friends. And let's not forget the inspiring stories of dogs reuniting with their owners after long periods of separation. These heartfelt tales aren't just feel-good anecdotes, they're solid proof of the deep-seated memory capabilities of dogs. They remember us, our faces, our scents, our love, even when we're not around. So next time you're amazed at your dog's ability to recognize a friend they've only met once, remember this: our dogs don't just remember us, they remember how we make them feel. So, how can we help our dogs recognize us and other familiar faces? As we dive into this topic, let's start with the basics. When introducing new faces to your dog, keep it calm and slow. You see, dogs can get overwhelmed with abrupt introductions. It's like meeting someone new at a crowded party. You'd prefer a quiet introduction, wouldn't you? Well, so does your dog. Now let's talk about reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is a dog's best friend. I mean, who doesn't love a bit of praise or a tasty treat? When your dog recognizes familiar faces, reward them. A gentle pat on the head, a cheerful good boy or good girl, or their favorite treat. It's all about associating happy feelings with familiar faces. And then there's technology. We live in a world where we can video call our dogs. It sounds a bit silly, doesn't it? But it works. If you're away on a trip, or if a loved one can't visit often, video calls or photos can help maintain that familiarity. It's like a virtual pat on the head, a reminder that you're still part of their world. But here's a key point, folks. We need to respect our dog's boundaries. Not all dogs are social butterflies. Some might be naturally cautious with strangers, and that's okay. In these cases, slower introductions are needed. Allow your dog to approach in their own time. Don't rush it. A little patience can go a long way in building trust and recognition. You see, it's all about building that connection. The way we introduce people, the way we reward recognition, the way we maintain familiarity, and the way we respect boundaries. These all play a part in how our dogs see us and how they see the world. In the end, understanding how our dogs see us can deepen the bond we share with them. It's not just about being the one who fills their food bowl or takes them for walks. It's about being a familiar, comforting presence in their lives, and that, my friends, is truly something special. Our dogs' recognition skills extend beyond just human faces. They're also capable of distinguishing other animals, from fellow dogs to cats, squirrels, and even birds. This ability is not just about identifying prey or potential threats, but also about social interactions. Dogs can recognize their furry friends and differentiate them from unknown animals. But wait, there's more. Our canine companions are not just animal identifiers, they're emotion detectives too. Studies suggest that dogs can read human emotions from facial expressions. Yes, you heard it right. When you're feeling down or ecstatic, your dog is likely to pick up on that. They can sense happiness, sadness, anger, and surprise, adjusting their behavior in response to our emotional states. So next time, don't be surprised if your dog cuddles up to you when you're feeling blue. They're just doing their job as your personal furry therapist. These impressive capabilities of dogs are just the tip of the iceberg. Scientists and researchers are continuously exploring the depths of canine perception. The field promises exciting breakthroughs in the future, potentially giving us even more insights into how our dogs see the world. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of canine perception, one thing is clear. Our dogs are not just pets. They're perceptive companions navigating a world full of faces and emotions. So, to answer our original question, yes, dogs can and do recognize human faces. They're not just sniffing around. Dogs possess unique visual abilities and impressive memory skills, enabling them to distinguish between familiar faces and strangers. This exceptional talent goes beyond basic features, extending to subtle aspects like hair color and facial expressions. It's not just about companionship, it's about a deeper bond and understanding. So next time your dog greets you, remember, they're not just excited to see anyone, they're excited to see you.